Watch and burn.
Hey everyone! So tonight I am going to be discussing Michael Haneke's Benny's video. Now this came out back, I believe, in 1992, and what this tells the story of, simply enough, is a teenager by the name of Benny. You probably didn't see that coming. And how he lures this girl back to his house and he kills her using a captive bolt pistol. And then he has, of course, recorded the murder because he's obsessed with that sort of thing, or at least that's what we're led to believe, because he's always spending time at his local video store. And I also love, too, that up at the video store at various points, you see a Tango and Cash poster, you see a cardboard display for Stephen King's Graveyard, and I believe at one point Benny is even watching The Toxic Avenger. I thought that was amazing. I love how, Western media continuously finds its way across the pond. Tango and Cash was a badass movie. I never really got into the whole trauma thing, so the Toxic Avengers thing was kind of lost on me. But I also really liked Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. So I thought it was cool that 2 of the 3 movies were movies that I grew up loving. But anyways, yeah, he has to hit her 3 times with the captive bolt pistol. Now, for those of you out there that don't know what a captive bolt pistol is, this is one of the things that they use to slaughter pigs and cows. They put it up to, I imagine, their skull, I believe, and it fires a bolt in and incapacitates them so that they can slit their throat, drain them, and then we get to eat them. So, like I said, he has to hit her 3 times in the chest, and then he just kind of casually puts this on for his parents one night while they're watching TV. And then instead of his parents deciding to go and get their obviously sick son some very necessary and needed psychiatric assistance by way of contacting the authorities, the parents, who are well off, they decide that it would be too much of a blow to both his future as well as their image. So they decide that the mom and Benny will take off to Egypt for this sort of extended trip over there, while the father dismembers and flushes the girl's body down the toilet, I believe. Now, when I was watching Criterion's The Closet Pics with Ari Aster, he said that this movie was a really good look at Nazi youth. And now I never really got that vibe from this movie, but at the same time, Ari Aster is smarter than me, so maybe it is. It's difficult for me to see that in this movie. I mean, I know that Benny shaves his head and everything, but I mean, that was more of a skinhead thing. It wasn't necessarily a Nazi youth thing, which I suppose you could argue that skinheads were Nazi youth, but at the same time, real skinheads wanted nothing to do with any of that shit. So there's that. I'm not sure why he killed the girl. I think maybe he did it maybe to make his own movie, because he does give off the impression that he is obsessed with filmmaking. So maybe this is his opportunity to sort of make his own snuff film, like the one he was watching of the pig being slaughtered, the one that he shows the girl, the one that the movie opens with. I mean, that's a possibility as well. The other thing I would like to point out about the captive bolt pistol, for anybody who is familiar with the band Carcass, they have a song called Captive Bolt Pistol where it discusses how you can use it on both animals and humans. So if you're interested and you dig that sort of more like gore grind-ish shit from Carcass, prior to them sort of pioneering melodic grind with heartwork, you can check out the song Captive Bolt Pistol by Carcass. What else do I have here that I wanted to discuss? There's also maybe some foreshadowing, in a sense, that he's going to rat out his parents, because when he spends the night at his buddy's house, he asks if he can borrow his computer science homework in order to copy it because he never finished it. And then the following day in class, he still hasn't returned it to his friend. And when the teacher asks for it, his friend says, "Yo, I gave it to Benny." And Benny's like, "No, you didn't. I don't know what you're talking about." And then he just casually throws the kid under the bus. And then when the teacher turns his back, he punches the kid. And then the teacher throws Benny out of class. So, like I said, maybe that's some type of foreshadowing, showing I was kind of just so coolly disattached. So coolly disattached. I actually said disattached. He's so coolly detached from everything So the fact that he just casually rats out his parents, you know, he's like, Entschuldigung. And it's like, great, you said sorry. That's awesome. Your parents are going to prison. You're going to rot in some fucking mental hospital somewhere for the rest of your little fucking psychotic existence. And he just does it so, whatever, you know. It's just my parents. They sacrificed everything for me, you know, gave me the best upbringing possible. They provided me with all the material possessions I wanted, love, security, all that stuff, food. And they helped me dispose of the body of the girl I killed for absolutely no reason. But fuck them, you know? Fuck you, Mom. Fuck you, Dad. You're going to prison right with me. So I don't know. What else here that I wanted to talk about? I know that Haneke had framed this movie as being, it's like a look at emotional disconnection in the age of mass media consumption. And I'll argue that in 2023, that has never been truer. Back in 92, I felt that the sort of mass media consumption thing was almost cute. Like it was like you made the decision to sort of consume massive amounts of media. Whereas as of about 10 years ago, around 2013, give or take, since the advent of smartphones mainly, we're consuming it whether you want to or not. It feels like everywhere you turn, somebody's going to update you on some Twitter scandal or something that's going on through Instagram or something that's happening on the news, and you can check it through your news app, and then something Google's getting up to, or if you're not into Google, something Apple's getting up to, even though Apple's crap. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like every time you turn around now, you're having a whole bunch of media-based shit thrown at you. So I understand where Haneke was coming from, and he has a really good point about how people sometimes, like, there is a great sense of emotional disconnection in the world of mass media in general. It seems like it's just whatever's hot for the minute is hot, and then we toss it aside for whatever comes next. And we all just keep swallowing it down, and it never seems to stop. But like I said a minute ago, back in the early 90s, that felt kind of quaint. It felt like it was a choice. Now, as of, like I said, 10 years ago, it feels like it's not really a choice anymore. It feels like this is the way we live, and since you're here, you're living this way with the rest of us. Fucking get a phone, clue in, download Snapchat, get it going, you know? So I think that might have been everything. Other than the only time I think that Benny ever really felt bad, possibly, was when, towards the end of his mom and his trip in Egypt, she just starts crying because of what he's done and what his father has to do in order to cover it up. And you can tell that she is very upset. She is so shaken by this. And you can see that Benny's face, he looks concerned for his mom, but at the same time, I could almost argue that it's almost like he looks annoyed, too, potentially. So I don't know, but this could be the only part in the movie where he shows some distant idea of what an emotion could be, is when his mom starts crying near the end of their trip in Egypt. So yeah, I think that's it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I discussed Michael Haneke's 1992 film, Benny's Video. Like always, if you like this review, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. But most importantly, please don't forget that the world is a better place because you are in it, and I'm gonna go. Have a good day, or night, or whatever. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.